Before this video starts, I want you to do something. Open your banking app right now. I'll wait. Look at the last 30 days of transactions. Don't look at the total. Look at the pattern. What do you see? If you're anything like Henry, 29 years old, $52,000 a year, doesn't feel rich, doesn't feel broke, here's what you probably see. A Tuesday coffee, a Wednesday coffee, a Thursday coffee, DoorDash on a Friday because you were too tired to cook, a subscription you forgot you had, something from Amazon you don't quite remember ordering, another subscription, an Uber because it was raining and you deserved it. Normal things, invisible thing. Here's what most people see when they look at that list. Their spending. Here's what I see, their autobiography. Every transaction is a choice you made. Every choice was made for a reason: boredom, stress, loneliness, celebration, habit, or the simple fact that someone spent millions of dollars designing a button that was impossible not to press. Your spending doesn't just show you where your money went. It shows you who you are when no one is watching. Henry saw his autobiography for the first time at 11:14 p.m. on a Tuesday. He was sitting on the edge of his bed, phone in hand, staring at his banking app. His salary had hit 3 days ago, $4,300, more than his parents ever made at his age. And yet, $47, 9 days until the next paycheck. $47. He wasn't a gambler. He didn't own a boat. He hadn't gone on vacation. He just lived. And somehow, $4,300 became $47. Henry put his phone face down on the mattress and stared at the ceiling. He wasn't broke. He was something worse. He was invisible broke, the kind that doesn't look like broke from the outside, but eats you alive at 11 at night when the lights are off and the numbers don't add up. Here's the thing no one told Henry. It wasn't entirely his fault. Right now, at this exact moment, there are behavioral scientists, UX designers, and engineers whose entire job is to get your money out of your wallet before your brain has time to say no. One-click checkout. Infinite scroll. Free trials that auto-renew at 11:59 p.m. on the last possible day. Flash sales with countdown timers. Suggested items that somehow know what you were thinking about an hour ago. They are very, very good at their jobs. When you pay with cash, your brain registers pain. Psychologists call it the pain of paying. It's a real documented phenomenon. Your brain treats spending money like a small loss, and that friction slows you down. But when you tap a card, when you click buy now, when Apple Pay completes in under a second, pain is gone. It's been engineered away. And here's the number that should stop you cold. The average American underestimates their subscription spending by 40%. Henry had 11 active subscriptions the night he stared at that ceiling. He could name 4 of them. The other 7 were bleeding him out one quiet renewal at a time. That's the leak, not one catastrophic hole, 100 invisible ones. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. In 1904, more than 100 years before the algorithm existed, a Japanese journalist named Hani Motoko built a weapon against exactly this kind of invisible drain. She was Japan's first female journalist, working in a time when women couldn't have their own bank accounts, couldn't sign contracts, couldn't control money in any official way. So she built a system that didn't need any of that. She called it Kakeibo. In Japanese, the characters literally mean household financial ledger, not an app, not a spreadsheet, a physical notebook and a pen. The idea was almost insultingly simple, and that simplicity is exactly why it works. Every day you write, you make the invisible visible. You reintroduce the pain of paying that the digital world quietly stole from you, and you do it by hand, slowly on purpose. Japanese households that practice Kakeibo consistently save 30 to 35% of their income, not because they earn more, because they see more. When Henry first heard about this, his reaction was completely honest. A notebook? Are you serious? He'd downloaded 3 budgeting apps in 2 years. deleted all 3. But then he thought about it. Every app had made it easier to track. None of them had made it harder to spend. Maybe that was the problem he kept skipping over. So here is how Kakeibo actually works. At the start of every month, you sit down with your notebook and you write 4 questions. Not 12 categories. Not a color-coded spreadsheet. 4 questions. How much money do I have? Your actual take-home income this month. Not your salary. What lands in your account after taxes? How much do I want to save? And here is where most people go vague. Not this time. You write a specific number, $300, $500, whatever is honest for you right now. How much must I spend? Your fixed, non-negotiable expenses. Rent, utilities, insurance, the things that exist whether you want them to or not. And finally, how can I improve? One specific thing, not a commitment. Then you do the math. And this is where most people have had it backwards their entire adult lives. The way almost everyone does it, spend first, save whatever's left, which is usually nothing, which is why it doesn't work. Kakeibo flips it completely. Income minus savings equals spending money. You pay yourself first. If you make $3,000 and you want to save $500, you move that $500 before you touch anything else. Now you have $2,500 available. That's the real number. The only number that matters for how you live this month. Henry's first savings goal was $300, not $500, not a stretch goal. $300, an honest number he actually believed he could hit. Now, every single evening, and this is the ritual that makes everything else work, you spend 3 minutes writing down what you spent that day, by hand, into one of 4 categories. Survival, rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, medicine. The non-negotiables you can sometimes optimize but can never eliminate. Optional, dining out, drinks, shopping, entertainment, subscriptions. This is where the battle is won or lost. This is the leaking bucket. This is the category that will either make you wealthy or keep you wondering where it all went. Culture, books, online courses, concerts, films, anything that genuinely grows your mind. Kakeibo treats this as investment, not waste. You track it, but you don't punish yourself for it. Extra, the things you didn't see coming. A car repair, a birthday gift, a broken phone screen. Every budget that doesn't have a category for surprises will be wrecked by them. On day 5, Henry wrote, drinks with coworkers, $67. He stopped, stared at it. He didn't remember having a particularly good time. He remembered not wanting to go home to an empty apartment. That's the thing about writing it down by hand. You can't hide from the reason. The app never asked you why. The notebook doesn't have to. You already know. For the optional category, Kakeibo takes it one step further with something almost embarrassingly low-tech. At the start of the month, you withdraw your optional budget in cash. You put it in an envelope. When you go out, you take cash from the envelope. When the cash is gone, the optional spending is over. No credit card backup. No, I'll figure it out at the end of the month. The physical limit is absolute. Henry put $300 in his first envelope. He spent half of it in the first 10 days. Then he looked at what was left, $80. 3 weeks to go. And for the first time in his adult life, he paused before spending, not because he was told to, because a thin stack of bills told him the truth in a way a phone notification never had. Now, there's one more technique, and it might be the most powerful of all, because it has nothing to do with budgeting and everything to do with the real reason we spend. When you see something you want to buy, anything that isn't survival, you don't buy it. You write it down in the back of your notebook, the item, the price, the date. Then you wait 30 days. After 30 days, you look at the list and you ask one honest question, do I still want this? Or was I bored? Stressed? Lonely? Was I just looking for something to feel good for 20 minutes? Here is what the research consistently shows. 90% of the time, the urge will be completely gone. You'll look at the item and feel nothing. You save that money by doing exactly nothing. Here's why this matters beyond the dollars. Shopping is one of the most common ways to medicate against difficult emotions. The dopamine you feel when you're about to buy something is real, but it's triggered by the anticipation, not the possession. By the time the package arrives, the feeling is already fading. The item was never the point, the relief was, and you were buying a minute of it. It is. The 30-day pause doesn't just save you money. It forces you to sit with the actual feeling instead of covering it over with a purchase. Henry wrote down a pair of Sony headphones, $180. He opened his notebook 30 days later, read his own handwriting, and smiled. He had no memory of why he'd wanted them. That's not discipline, that's just time. Time doing quietly what willpower burns out trying to do. At the end of every month, you practice what the Japanese call Hansei, reflection. You open your notebook, you look at the numbers honestly, and you ask the questions most people spend their whole lives avoiding. Where did I fall short? Why did I spend $90 on delivery apps in 1 week? What was happening that week? What was I not dealing with? This is not about beating yourself up. This is data collection. You are a scientist. The subject is you, and you are slowly getting smarter about yourself every single month. Maybe you realize you always overspend on Friday nights after a difficult week at work. That's a trigger. That's information. Next time that Friday hits and the impulse fires, you have a choice ready: a walk, a phone call, a long shower. Something that actually addresses what you're feeling instead of buying a temporary cover for it. Henry's first month, $200 saved. His third month, $500. His sixth month, $800. Same salary the entire time. The only thing that changed was how well he understood himself. Now here's the truth that almost no one in the financial industry will say out loud because it does not sell anything. Wealth is not a number. Wealth is a ratio. Two men. Man A makes $200,000 a year and spends $200,000 a year. His net wealth is zero. If he loses his job on Monday, he is in serious financial trouble before the end of the month. He is not rich. He is a high-income prisoner. Man B makes $50,000 a year and spends $30,000. He saves $20,000 every year. Man B is freer than Man A in every way that actually counts. Man B doesn't have more money. He has more time. He has more options. He has the one thing money is fundamentally for: the ability to choose. Every dollar you save is not a dollar you gave up. It is a future day you purchased. A day where you wake up and decide what to do with your hours based on what you want, not what you owe. After 6 months with Kakeibo, Henry had $4,800 in safe savings. Not enough to retire. Not a number anyone would brag about at a dinner party, but enough that when he thought about something going wrong, a medical bill, a job loss, a car that stopped working, he didn't spiral. He had 3 months, a buffer. He woke up one morning and noticed something was missing. It took him a moment to identify it. The low-level hum of financial anxiety that had run underneath every single day since he'd started working. It was quieter, not gone. Quieter. That's what Kakeibo actually gives you. Not a transformation in 30 days. Not a number that fixes everything. The ability to read your own autobiography clearly and then decide to write a different chapter. So here's your mission. For the next 7 days, write down every single cent you spend. Use a notebook, a napkin, the back of a receipt. It genuinely does not matter what you write on. Every coffee, every delivery order, every app purchase, every split bill you forgot about. Write it down. At the end of 7 days, look at the list. Circle the optional spending in red. Add it up. You will be surprised. You might be shocked. Either way, you will know something true about yourself that you didn't know before. And awareness, while it is not the finish line, is the only place the race actually starts. I have one question for you. Look at your last 30 days. Find the one expense, the one you'd write down and realize you genuinely cannot explain. Not the most confusing one. The one that makes you think, why did I buy that? Drop it in the comments below. That moment of confusion is not embarrassing. That moment is the beginning. Henry closed his notebook at the end of month 6, not because he was finished, but because for the first time, he knew exactly where he stood. Pick up the pen. I master my money, does not master me.